Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Starting on the daily chart, we have our bull run 1, 2, 3, 4 and F5 potentially not finished yet. Your wave 5 has a 3 waves toward the upside as a 1, 2. Of course, we're looking here for triple 4 5s. Therefore, after having 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and a 5, and you're still looking here at a wave 4 and a 5 in the yellow scenario. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. The invalidation of this impulse has not been taken yet at 65k 175, and we still potentially can move toward the upside with a wave 5, of course, as a bullish scenario. And in this case, you are looking here for a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. However, your wave 3 is looking very short and still under the 1-to-1 fib level, which is very weird impulse. And we still, of course, today looking for some green. Very strong V shape has unfolded here on the 1-hour chart, signaling a trend towards the upside might be intense given as a wave 5. However, because of the short wave 3, we might get an extended wave 5, or it might be a shorter wave 5. We're gonna dive deeper, because if the wave 3 here is shorter than the wave 1, meaning of course your wave 5 cannot be longer than the wave 3. However, we're gonna dive deeper, of course, inside it for the bullish scenario. If in case we finished a wave 1 here as an impulse, you would like to seek for a wave 2 and then 3, 4 and a 5 continuation toward the upside to finish finally this wave 5 in the yellow scenario. In that case, you might of course finish this bull run again and then starting a new bear market, of course, once we finish this leg toward the upside. Now for the bearish market, of course, we have a top exactly at the top here where we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 finished, of course, and your wave 4 is a W, X, and a Y finishing in a triangle. And then you start, of course, the bear market here where you have an A. You are looking at a wave B. Extended wave B can be, of course, a wave C. This impulse for a wave C, of course, after A, B, and a C, having 3 waves down, and then of course continuation toward the downside. Now this is my highest possible scenario here, knowing that this move towards the upside can be a wave C as, of course, an impulse. However, we're gonna estimate, of course, the healthiness of this impulse in terms of a wave 3 length and the wave 1. So we can therefore know much better if we're gonna have an extended or a shorter wave 5. Now basically, if we take a look here in this area, what are the forms that we can have in this case scenario? Now highest possibility is of course for this scenario for a wave A and then B, because you have an impulse potentially here. It might be an expanding flat ABC and finishing of course this wave B and then moving toward the downside impulsively towards the 1-to-1 fib level 1.05. Finishing a wave A, of course, and you would like to see a wave B again toward the upside, and finally finishing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to hit the wave 2 of this bear market, which is of course is gonna unfold a big wave 1, 2 with a minimum time requirement, of course, for this bear market based on the all-time history that we saw in the deep analysis. You would like, of course, to take much more time for this bear market to finish and then start to move towards the upside. This is my highest possibility currently, of course, where you have an expanding wave C here, an expanding flat for a wave C in a wave B. And therefore, of course, we move towards the downside where we are continuing a bear market. Now, another possible scenario can be that your wave A has finished here. You are in the formation, of course, of a possible impulse toward the upside. You have to be careful here. In case we get a wave B, we might get another impulse as a wave C, meaning a very strong zigzag toward the upside. Finishing the wave B exactly here. Actually, this wave B. This is another scenario for wave B here. So finishing an A, B, and a C expanding flat for the bear market here, where you have finished, of course, a W, X, and a Y for wave A, and then the 3 waves up in a very strong zigzag, hitting the 1.38 taken from the A, at 118 and then moving towards the downside massively for a wave 2 here in an expanding flat. So this scenario is the most critical scenario that you might see, of course, a new all-time high here in an expanding flat double zigzag, very sharp. So these are the possibilities. Another possibility finally is, of course, that you have finished a wave A here as well. And you're looking for unfinished wave B in the yellow, meaning, or it can be even for this one. It means like you can have 3 waves up or potentially an impulse toward the upside. And of course, this is gonna unfold as we said, the zigzag. But in case, of course, that you have finished an ABC here, which is high possibility because of the wave 2, very shallow and sideways triangle, you might have 3 waves down and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and F5 flat, of course, for a wave B, and then moving towards the downside, just taking more time, of course, for this correction. It also can be, as a wave B, it can be a triangle. We don't want to forget this as well, where you can see, of course, a triangle and then A, B, C, D, and an E, finishing the wave E toward the upside, meaning continuation toward the downside for a wave C. So those are the possibilities. Higher possibility that we might be in a wave B, but the most riskiest scenario here is to get a zigzag toward the upside as an expanding flat. And this scenario I have mentioned since 2 weeks, or I think 2 weeks, in the deep analysis as well. Yeah, so it might be unfolding right now. Nobody knows. So we're gonna get further information and data from here. So yesterday, what happened, of course, the market has started with the opening, has started to move aggressively toward the downside after having a potential double 1-2s here. I'm gonna explain on the 1 hour chart. We got kind of like here a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, a leading diagonal almost here that you got, and then you got your wave 2. So 1, 2, and then you got another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 potential, another leading diagonal again, and finishing a wave 2, and then moving aggressively toward the downside. Pretending that this might be, of course, a wave 3, where you see the aggressivity and the high volume, as you can see, for a wave 3, giving confirmation that this is a wave 3, and then, yeah, as you can see, a reversal, sudden reversal happened in the morning. I don't know what was it, but it's a very aggressive reversal. It's a V shape, of course, which is very dangerous reversal. We have to be careful with it. A V shape, meaning aggressive reversal for the market, and it might, of course, continue toward the upside. Meaning right now it opens again the same scenario that we were looking at for in the weekend, where you might have, of course, a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now this shape here has turned into corrective. It can be, of course, a wave A, and then you have a B, and then this was your wave C, which is very, very weird price action. However, yeah, we cannot complain so much. At the end, you can still be corrective. It was invalidated, of course, at this price, where you have a 1, 2, and then if you were in wave 3, you have interfered with zone 1 again, so invalidation. And that means, of course, continuation potentially toward the upside if you have a wave 3, 4, and a 5, at least to finish this ending diagonal in case you are in an A, B, and a C here. And you are looking at, of course, at this triangle here shape for a wave B. So you have an A, B, and a C. Your wave C is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5 can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal. We have to be careful. Ending diagonal can be very, very tricky. Also, can transform to a leading diagonal for a wave 1 here, and then moving toward the upside 3, 4, and a 5, meaning transforming this ending diagonal to a big wave 1 as 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your wave 4, and then your wave 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And this is one of the most trickiest way that the market would love to do it, of course, to trap everyone that we have finished here in an ending diagonal, moving a little bit down for a wave 2, and then explosion toward the upside again. And this, of course, the scenario that I'm expecting with it, of course, a zigzag with an expanding flat toward the upside that you saw in the daily. Currently, what I would like to mention here is this 1-to-1 fib level taken, of course, from this A, B, and a C. Someone told me that it's not on his chart. He cannot get the 1-to-1 fib level, and that he passed the 1-to-1 fib level. I repeat again, this is a 100% snap mode here, snapping all the A, B, and C, the highest and the lowest, and you did not reach the 1-to-1 fib level. So I repeat this again. This is snapped 100% on the A, B, and C on the lower point of the wave B, and you did not reach the 1-to-1 fib level. In case you have a problem on your chart, therefore there is something with the logarithmic chart. Again, I repeat the same thing. If you hit the 1-to-1 fib level, there is a problem with your logarithmic chart that you cannot adapt, or you have to make sure that you have the fib level based on logarithmic scale as well in the settings. Yeah, so please make sure of this. So my fib levels are 100% snapped. So basically, we did not reach the 1-to-1 fib level yet, and that means this wave 3 currently is still shorter than the wave 1. In case, of course, we finish in an ending diagonal, therefore, of course, it becomes a little bit longer, which, of course, gives higher potential for a wave 5 to be, of course, extended in this case here, right, for a wave C. Yeah, so meaning if you get an extended wave 5 here as an ending diagonal wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, that means, of course, a wave 5 finishing an A, B, and a C. Yeah, so you're still in an A, B, C even with an extended wave 5. You would like to consider it bullish scenario, you can consider it, of course. It's an uptrend at the end, but it's still corrective. Okay, so based on Elliott wave, this is still corrective with a wave C extended, and then, of course, potentially to move toward the downside, or in a simple wave B and getting another impulse toward the upside to take the new all-time high. And you might still be corrective at the same time, having an expanded flat. Already explained in the daily, guys. So basically, those are the scenarios that we might expect today. Now, I'm watching, of course, the wave 3 of an ending diagonal. In this ending diagonal, I would like to reach, of course, this fib level, which is a wave 3 in a diagonal, where, of course, it might be exactly in confluence with the 1-to-1 fib level as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. I'm looking for this box at least right now and see the reaction, and then we take it from there, guys.